Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. Your host today, once again, Bob, Cory, Nick, and Todd. Cory, how are you, sir?
Oh, hello and fantastic.
Nick, how are you, sir?
Just fantastic.
Only fantastic?
Just the fantastic for me.
All right, Todd, the bar is high. How are you, sir?
I'm cold lamping, bro. Cold lamping.
You hurtled clear over that bar. Well played, sir. All right. Let's jump right into it. If you're new to the podcast, thank you for joining. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to need to connect.
Oh. Well, that's why when I asked you if you were connected, you're like, oh, no. I said, do you need to be connected? I didn't know you didn't hear that part.
Oh, yeah. Eventually I'm going to.
Yeah, I will disconnect.
Alika, hello.
There we go.
Welcome to the show.
All right. Yeah, if you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. Howdy, Alika. If you want to go back and listen to previous episodes, you can find us out on the streaming service anywhere you can get a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch.
All the social medias.
All the social medias. You can also email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us anytime, day or night, at 618-SHOCKER.
On the Shocker line, which we actually just got a message the other day on the Shocker line.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
You going to read it out for us?
Yep.
Shocker.
Ready?
We're all ready.
Okay. This message came in yesterday.
Hot off the press.
It's from an unknown number.
Fair enough.
It says, "Hey, this is Jordan. I'm outside."
That's the message.
So,
what up, Jordan?
Just so we could put that plug on the air.
Yeah.
Jordan, so are we. We're outside too, buddy. And we're waiting for you here on the Schnozzcast. See, that's what you get when you text the Shocker line.
Wait, why would
A prompt response.
Yep.
Why would you send it on a Friday when you know that we do the podcast on a? Why wouldn't you show up on a Saturday and wait outside?
I don't know. I don't know, but he obviously waited for wherever outside he was for quite some time. And by the time I looked at it, I was looking out. I was looking out the back door, looking out the front door. I don't know.
When was this?
Yesterday.
I mean, your basement is pretty recognizable from the outside of your house. I will say that much.
I couldn't find him. So
He was hiding in the bushes.
maybe
All night long.
maybe he was
the bushes.
maybe he was someone that just started, watching the show. Happened to see the Shocker line on one of the newer episodes, but maybe was going back and watching the older episodes and was at Bob's house thinking that we were still doing it there.
Dude, how long ago was that?
I mean, you never know if he's
I
watching
think
the older
before I had
episodes.
kids, it was that long ago.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves here,
Come
buddy.
on. Yeah. That was when
It's when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
that was when the Schnozzcast was just a sparkle in your eye at that point.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Just a wish.
Yep, it was just
A dweem within a dweem.
oh jeez.
I love quoting movies that Nick's never seen. So listen.
It's funny.
Had to go get a haircut this past week. This is some breaking news because we're supposed to go get family pictures tomorrow morning. And so I got one, and then Lori said, "Hey, can you take my son to get a haircut?" Because he was staying with me that morning because he didn't have any school. So I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I roll into the barbershop, and while I was there, your friend Crystal happened to spy me on the corner of her eye, and big wave from across the barbershop. "Hey, how's Cory?"
Been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I'm like,
As
"Hey,
we
he's
can
good.
tell.
I was going to say,
He's
as you guys
good.
can see.
When is he going to
Obviously.
come see me?" She
Obviously.
said. I said, "Well, I think his hair's it's going through a stage right now."
Yeah, so speaking of barbershops,
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, if you're listening, I apologize.
Yeah.
I've gone to Crystal for probably 20 years now.
I think so.
Maybe over 20 years. She's been cutting my hair.
And doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. But she has always worked in a
The wedding haircut, the wedding hairstyle that you had, I assume was Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's always worked in very straightforward barber shops, not like a salon or anything fancy like that. You go in, you get your hair cut, they brush you off, and you walk out.
You've just kind of distilled Barbary.
Sure, that's it. We can use that.
No,
Barbary.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you get done, leave space for me to ask a question.
All right.
You're talking to Cory, right? Like post barber story.
I'm talking to both of you.
Oh, I'm
Both
done.
of you.
Is this something new you guys covered on the Schnozzcast production meeting?
No,
Are we
no.
asking for spots to talk now?
No, that's just Todd being Todd.
No, I didn't
being
want to talk
polite.
over anyone. I was just being polite.
I missed
Todd's
it. I
a
didn't
gentleman.
know.
Todd's a gentleman.
Okay. All right.
So, but yeah, I haven't. It's been over a year now that I've actually gotten my hair cut, and I was like, you know what? I keep on seeing on TikTok like all these places that do like hair treatments and scalp massages and things like that. I'm like, I really wish they had something like that around here, because I would go get it done in a heartbeat. Come to find out, Lady Jane's does a hair and scalp treatment, and I'm like, well, yeah, I'll take a look into it.
Uh-huh.
So I went and got it done.
Now, I want to say, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
but
no.
we are not sponsored in any way by Lady Jane's.
No, that would be nice.
However-
Lady Jane's, if you're listening.
Yes, 100%. And I'm asking you to do your damnedest to, next time you go back there, talk us up and see if they're interested.
I mean, I assume that would have to happen at a corporate level. That I don't think. I mean, unless each franchise, the owner could make that call. But yes, we can look into that.
You didn't have it today, did you?
No, not today.
I was going to say your hair looks slightly depoofed tonight.
Oh, thank you.
It was much more lustrous last week.
It got some rain since I was waiting outside for two people to show up to the house.
Touche.
So I got a little poured on.
Yeah.
I do not feel anything for that because you have access to the house.
That my access drove away to go get food.
Well, is that my fault?
I didn't say that part was your fault.
Cory saw that your car was missing, and he said, well, you know what? He's probably just parked it inside the garage.
No,
There were
'cause
actually two white cars that looked very similar to my
Oh,
mom's
is that what
parked
you
in the
thought?
street.
That's I kind of knew it wasn't, but I was like, "Is that Nick's mom's car?" And Danielle's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, she's my wife. She's probably she's probably
She's
right."
way smarter than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I feel like I know cars better than she does, and I was ended up being right. It was not Nick's mom's car.
It's funny because as soon as we pulled in the driveway, we were slightly late because there was a 20-minute wait at the Arby's, which was wonderful. Like I was telling Bob, it's always great when you pull up to Arby's and you're like, oh, there's only one car in front of me. This is great. Fucking Saturday night. As soon as you pull up, it's like, welcome to Arby's. Would you like to place it? You're going to have to hold on for 1 second. And I was like, oh, shit. And I waited there for like 7 minutes in silence. And then she finally was like, go ahead. And so I place my order and I pull around and there's like 7 cars in front of me. I'm like, son of a bitch. There was no fries being handed out, nothing.
Yeah, you guys were a little behind tonight, but
Yeah.
that's all right.
But as I pulled in the driveway, I somehow instantly knew. I'm like,
No, you saw that the
that
shade
was close.
pulled.
Well, that was the last
And you're
minute
like, oh,
doubting.
okay.
That was the last minute doubting.
Yeah.
Because as we pull up, I mean, Danielle, is just, knuckles and forehead flying around the corner as we see this car. And I'm like, what was that, Danielle?
Yeah.
And
She was on a mission.
She was moving.
to go get the antidote from the antidote store for the poison that you'd ingested.
And I said, does that mean she dropped off Cory? And Bob's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, well, he's going to be pissed. And he's like,
he never said, oh, fuck. He doesn't give a shit.
I don't care, apparently. And he goes, he's got a key fob to your house. He'll be fine. I said, unless he's standing at the back door pounding on it right now because he wouldn't get the key fob out of Danielle's car and she just took off and Cory's standing in the rain.
Yep, no, it was still in the car.
And so as we pulled up, I saw that the thing was closed. I'm like, oh, Cory would never close that behind him. Cory would walk right through it and leave it just like that. So we didn't think you were there. And then as we were walking in the house, I just saw this top of your head standing out of the garage.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, Todd. So we're coming back from the haircut story to the Arby's story. Back to the haircut story,
Yes.
and then you're going to get your chance to ask your question, sir. Didn't forget about you.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. So my question is, so you took Griffin to get his haircut.
Yes, sir.
You got your haircut.
Yeah,
Tell
different
me
visit,
what that
same
experience
week,
like, because
but
I'm curious. I'm curious to know if your barbershop experience is the same as the black barbershop experience.
Exactly. Todd, it's
so
one and the same.
Can you? Is it?
Oh, totally.
Do you hear about all the goings on in the world and
everything you see at your barbershop, Bob sees it tenfold.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I got a breakdown of all the latest sports news, all the gossip from all the neighbors, what's going on in the life of my barber. Yeah, I even had
I was just wondering. I didn't know if it was the same. Go ahead.
It was 100% the same, except that my name is not Todd. Other than that, exactly the same.
And it's a bunch of white people.
No, I've never been to I've never experienced the barbershop. Again, for non-black people, and so again, I don't miss those days because it would take like 2 hours to get your chair to get your hair cut, and I watched Malcolm X, I don't know, like 4 times once in the same sitting to get my hair cut, and I heard every conspiracy theory ever imagined in that time, and I kind of miss those days of it now that I've got my own personal kind of hair care regimen, but I was wondering if it was the same experience. So that was all I wanted to poke into a little bit.
What hair are you caring for?
Well, as somebody who shaves his head, you should know exactly what he's doing.
I've got a full face of hair, though.
The head, sir. Shave your head.
No, I know, but I thought you were asking, Bob, because you wanted to know what a black barbershop was like, Todd. I thought that's the reason why you were asking.
That's exactly what he was asking.
No. Tell me what it was like.
Moving on.
I go to these high-end hoity-toity Seattle barbershops out here. I don't know what they're like.
Before I dish it back over to you, Cory, one last thing. There was a guy there, an elderly gentleman who was sitting right next to me, between me and Griffin, who's getting his haircut. And he said, oh, man, when I was a kid, I kind of had red hair, but when you have red hair, it doesn't go gray. It kind of goes like ashen brown or something like that. So were you as redheaded as your son when you were that young? I'm like, that's not my son, but no, I was not. And as you can see, my hair is quite gray.
That is not my child.
Because Griffin looked over at me.
He is not my spawn.
And I'm like, what do you do there? Do I lie and go, nope, grew out of that red hair pretty quickly.
I mean, I feel like
he looks nothing like that.
I feel like it was a missed opportunity for Griffin. He should have tugged at your coattails and said, Dad, what are you talking about?
That would have been. He was
perfect.
in the barber chair at the moment.
Exactly.
And he just kind of looked over at me.
Exactly. Griffin should have
he was waiting to see what I was going to say.
Eyes sparkling. Like, I wonder what he's going to say. Papa?
I feel like somehow I fucked it up, and I should have said something different.
Exactly.
I did.
Not my kid.
Anyway, Cory, sorry. After long last, back to you and your story.
So no, I finally decided to go to Lady Jane's and went in. A whole different experience than like a normal barbershop. I was standing at the counter waiting for someone to help me, and finally this girl's like, "Is there something wrong?" I was like, "No, I'm just waiting to get my hair treated, if you will." And she's like, "Oh, did you sign in?" I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "This is my first time ever outside of anywhere that Crystal hasn't worked."
It was a strict
no sign-ins at a black
policy.
barbershop.
Yeah. So sat down, and dude, let me tell you guys, this isn't just like a quick wash. Like they used tea tree oil, then did a shampoo, and then did some peppermint oil, some more shampoo, and like she actually took her nails and like got in there. And I'll tell you what,
Did they do lavender?
She
did
did
they
not
finish
have
up with lavender?
No, they finished with the peppermint. But I will tell
Is that the difference, Todd, between the white barbershop and the black one?
Lavender and peppermint.
The lavender's always the finish.
No, they always
finish with the sweet pea, baby. That lavender.
They always finish with that cocoa butter.
Oh, for fuck's
You start with the cocoa butter, Nick. You start with the cocoa butter.
I'm really getting an education here tonight.
Little mane and tail.
Jesus.
Todd, all Bob's familiar with is watermelon, so.
See? He laughed. He's been laughing for a whole week. Joke's on you, my friend.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But so,
I had a good long laugh over that Gallagher show.
So big shout out to Morgan at Lady Jane's in Mount Clemens. Like I said, obviously Nick and Todd, I don't think it'll do you guys much good, but Bob.
Of course, we can do my beard. The scalp
Way
massage.
to go, on the scalp doesn't. You don't have to have hair to enjoy that.
I guess that is true.
It's not biased, hair versus no hair.
Yeah,
I guess that's true.
Don't be a hair.
I see a phrenologist.
Maybe I'll call it the scalp treatment when I go in. Let me give me the scalp treatment.
It's called
Give me all the oils. I want all the oils.
I would.
Yep. Rub it into my my beard.
They do a hell of a beard trim too.
Beard job? Is that what you're gonna say?
I thought about it.
Had a good BJ at Lady Jane's yesterday.
Exactly.
Like, where's he going with this? Oh, there. That's where he's going.
Yeah,
Okay.
boy.
All right, Todd Dillon.
Speaking of which, I want to put something in Nick's beer hole.
Oh, another
Don't we
good,
all?
Another good callback to last week's episode.
Don't we all?
That's right. So you can keep Todd out of my beer hole.
By the way, another shout out to the Nonsense Zone. I happened to finish listening to their not their last episode, but the one before that. And congrats, Andy and Len, for making me part of almost your entire show.
You?
Yeah, it was anytime that there was a foil in their story about some guy that did something, his name was Bob, and they kept on throwing it back to the Schnozzcast. And I took it in, I'm like, oh, it's all good fun. No
Were
worries.
you were an audience member?
When I was listening to it, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But pretty cool. So it's probably the closest I'll come to actually feeling famous.
Dude, you've been on so many radio shows and everything, winning crap back in the 90s.
Yeah, but that was
Your
different. They called
name
me
was
a,
up. Your name was up in every
You're
radio
good,
station.
they called me a prize whore on 89X.
He was banned from a lot of calling a lot of those
That's what
stations.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was blocked before you could even block numbers.
All the major DJs knew me.
Is that
by
that
name.
three? Is that 313 number from North York?
Nope. Hang up.
All right, throwing it back over to you, Todd Dillon, sir, to kick off airing of Grievances.
Use kit.
God damn it.
The Festivus begins.
I'll tell you what the problem is. I need to change. There's 2 Grievances buttons on the mixer. I need to get rid of one of them.
That would probably
Because
help.
I'm always going to fall for
I
them.
tried to. First of all, you moved too quick. I tried telling you last week. Think of what you want to pick and pick the opposite. And you still
You did
hit
say
the wrong
that.
one.
You did say that. You did say that, and I did not remember that. Surprisingly.
Yeah, boy.
All right, Todd. What's in your cross,
Yeah.
mixer?
Here's my grief. It's my cross this week, and I'm glad that you brought this up first because I don't have to use the time during my paltry 90-second sports segment.
All right.
Here's my beef. A few weeks ago, Mary and I are outside enjoying a beautiful day here in lovely Seattle area. And she says, hey, isn't the Indy 500 on? And I'm like, hell yeah. America's race is on right freaking now. Let's tune in and see what's going on. And I find out that they're streaming the Indy 500 this year on Peacock and Fubo. And so I have to then I go to my Apple my Apple TV and I'm like, "Oh, I don't have those services." You have to sign up and then you have to for Peacock, you then have to give them your credit card info. I'm like, "I want to watch America's race real time and not on a streaming service." Here's my beef, my grievance if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Dillon, TD is out on streaming anything. For the first time I watched this NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube this last year. Bullshit. Total bullshit. For the first time since the inaugural season of the NFL Sunday Ticket, I will not be renewing. Sports on streaming services, out for me. Out for me. What a freaking racket. Not only is it horrible, you can't switch. It takes seconds, if not minutes, to switch from one game to another. The streaming process is horrible. Even if you have great internet, I am sick of this. We should be able to watch sports of any kind for free, either over the air on one of the cable or dish networks, on one of the standard networks. So my grievance this week is on streaming services for sports. Knock it off, guys. It sucks to have 18 streaming services to see all the football games. Get it back on regular TV, or TD's out. I'll just watch whatever you put on the regular TV. No matter it's not even about the money. It's about the fact that the service itself is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. That's my beef or grievance today.
I got a couple of questions for you, Todd.
Plenty of answers, baby.
Are you? So when you're watching on YouTube, you mean YouTube TV?
Yeah, so YouTube TV had a Sunday Ticket this year. So it used to be on the Direct TV. You used to have the dish to get the Sunday Ticket package.
Right. So
And this year they switched to YouTube. And there's a couple things that I hated about that. A, the service itself sucks because I have multiple TVs in my bonus room, and so, but you can only stream it on so many. You can only stream it on fewer. You can only stream it on 4 or 3 TVs at a time with YouTube TV. They had a block there. That was one negative thing. Secondarily, I actually was able to get the YouTube app up and running, and I could watch any YouTube videos on my main 75-inch Sharp Aquos TV, but the app would not play Sunday Ticket, and I called them for technical support. I tried everything under the sun. I could watch anything except Sunday Ticket, which is my center TV in the bonus room. So that sucked so then I had to actually use either cable or the dish to watch whatever was on broadcast television to watch it. And it created a whole bunch of turmoil on my Sunday viewing. It was a horrible experience. And I for one am not going to pay again this year for such shoddy service. And then on top of all of that, besides all the limitations and that horribleness, the shit froze more than the launch law. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm having internet issues. No, just YouTube sucks. And again, I like them for our podcast and several other things. But as far as streaming sports, I'm out.
Todd, everything you just said, every last word was the biggest first world problems I have ever heard in a long time.
Putting that aside.
That's every man right there, USA. That's every man USA.
Just putting it aside and assuming that anybody who's listening or watching this show doesn't really care that Todd experienced any of those things because they're like me on my one TV.
I was going to say, you know what,
right. But Todd, here's my biggest point. Besides YouTube TV, here's the thing: shouldn't we all be able to turn on any old TV and see the Indy 500?
Any old TV, yes, that is true.
Actually, without having to pull out a credit card and sign up for Peacock.
Yes, that is true.
That was the antithesis of this grievance. The fact that I now have to sign up for a service and remember to cancel it if I just want to do a temporary thing, and of course I'm sure they won't let you do that for every single event. I wanted to watch America's race, the race. I want to watch Thursday. The only reason I'm going to watch Thursday Night Football is because Prime comes for free as part of a membership that I'll have anyway. But otherwise, if that's an extra charge, I'm done. I mean, this is silly. And again, it's not about even. It's just the inconvenience of not being able to flip between. Because that's the thing too. When you're in YouTube TV, guess what? I can't flip back to regular TV. It's just a stupid thing. Get sports off the streaming services.
Todd, I will level with you. Danielle and I have a center TV too. It's known as our only TV.
When you said center TV, I'm like that. You just alienated all of the crowd from any kind of sympathy. But I think we're really all glossing over the word that he said that I'm not sure was really a word. It was sort of like samalamanan. Do you remember what he said?
No, because I didn't think it was a word.
It wasn't a word. But I think we're all glossing over.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't recall saying that. I wasn't speaking in tongues, bro.
You said antithesis.
When I go back to the audio, I'm gonna clip that. No, that wasn't it. I'm gonna clip it out. I'm gonna put it right here.
Slamalama ding dong.
I'm gonna put it right here.
I didn't say it, damn it.
I'm gonna put it right.
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm gonna put it right here.
Salam.
I'm gonna put it right here. That's where it's gonna go.
You know, Todd, I felt honestly, I did feel your pain. I know these guys are wagging their fingers. Seriously, no, I know these guys are wagging their fingers at you. But when I was unemployed, all I could think about was, oh my God, what am I going to do with my 78-inch plasma screen TV that I need to find all my sports on? Those were first world problems for me, and I was whipping out my credit cards and tightening up my diamond shoes and upgrading my wallet because it was too small for my 50s as well.
You're still rocking plasma, bro?
I don't know. That's how little I know.
You dumb poor piece of shit.
Well played, Todd.
That's how little I know about TVs.
Well played. Oh my God.
That's all I heard Todd say when he just said
OLED
that.
8K, baby.
Yeah. Plasma, bitch.
8K.
Plasma.
Todd, speaking of which, we went to the bar the other night, Bob and I did. And,
can we do this, please, real quick?
Yeah, Todd, pour yourself a shot.
I'm on it. I already got it poured.
All right,
Since I
cheers,
lost my shot
cheers,
glass,
cheers,
the first
cheers. I can't do another story.
one. Salute.
Cheers.
Ooh,
Did I just hear him say I can't do another
That's the
story?
good stuff, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
coming
I
from the story master himself.
That's what I thought.
You've been cut off, sir.
You were wise to say that after you took your shot.
But yeah, we were
Watching
watching.
slapped it on my head.
Crown peach, baby.
We were watching a YouTube video at Uncle Ray's, and the screen, the camera work was a little shoddy, or it looked a little shoddy. And Bob's like, "Man, this is like I wish he would have done better camera work. It's kind of making me sick." I'm like, "Well, that's just because he's shooting in 8K, and these TVs at Uncle Ray's do not support 8K whatsoever. So yeah, it doesn't look the greatest when you're watching it on a 1080p TV."
Yeah, and by the way, I gotta give Cory props for. We're sitting there watching it, and we couldn't get. We're watching some other game, and when you go to the bar with Cory, Cory's sort of at his best, where he can control what he and that section of the bar are watching on the TV. It's long been a passion. Once upon a time, we used to connect our phones to the TV and control them through the phones.
Jason smartened out, and
He did.
He disconnected all that, so you can't connect your
No
phone
more.
anymore.
And when we asked for the remote control to do it, they refused to give it to us.
Berto literally came over and was like, "Oh, what you guys want?" He's like, "You want basketball?"
With
We're
his
like,
back turned so that we couldn't see that he had the remote or which one it was, so that we couldn't take it off of the bar.
and we're like, "No." He's like, "Okay, how about this?" And all he did was list off the sports that we're currently on.
Yeah.
And we're like, "No, we don't want to watch any of that." He's like, "Okay," and he just put back to the channel and
Yeah.
set the remote down and walked away.
So then what do you think Cory did?
Walked behind the bar and got the remote.
That's actually a really good guess. But Jason was there, and we probably would have got our hands slapped in some way, because it was very clear that, like, hey, fellas, those days of you guys fucking with my jukebox and my TVs are over.
Yeah.
So instead, Cory pulled out of his
Oh, Doobie
pocket
days are over, brother.
a little device that he slipped into the lightning port on his phone. And I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "I'm just pulling up what we want to watch here." And all of a sudden, it's like a totally different menu on the screen. And I'm like, you're the man. What the fuck? Did you have that in your pocket? He's like, "Oh, always. I always have that in my pocket." I'm like, "Why?" Because you never know when you're somewhere just watching something you don't want to watch, and you just want to take control and make sure everybody has to watch what you want to watch.
Dude, St. Patty's Day, I was a hero. There was this huge TV right behind the table we were sitting at, and the basketball game had ended and something else was on that no one wanted to watch. So I took over control of the TV and turned on old Jerry Springer episodes. And everyone sitting around was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is awesome. Whoever turned this on, great." Well, one dude complained and was like, "Oh, I want the Detroit Pistons on." And we're like, "Dude, they're losing big time." Like, so the bar person came around and was like, "Hey, changed it." I was like, "Okay," changed it back. And he complained again. And the guy came out and he's like, "There's no way." And he looked at the TV. He's like, "Holy shit." He's like, "How does Jerry Springer keep on getting on here?" And everyone was just cracking up. So he changed it again. I waited about 5 minutes. I'm like, boop, and changed it right back. The guy from the back came out again. He looked, he's like, "This is fucking hilarious." He's like, I'm weaving it. He's like, "I'm sorry." So we got to watch Jerry Springer for the rest of the afternoon.
It was great.
I was at I was telling Bob, so I was at Van Born Tavern last week, and they had all these different fucking sports on. They have really nice TVs.
I like how he said fucking sports.
Yeah.
Like these
And no one was watching them.
No.
assholes playing sports.
And no one was watching them up at the bar. So I fucking changed two of the TVs. I had Seinfeld on one, and I think in Stranger Things on the other one.
Oh my God.
Finally, she walked up. And she was like,
"Sir, you have to leave."
"She's like, what's going on with the TV?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't know. It's crazy."
As Nick's quoting Seinfeld line for line.
It's kind of like that
turn
time
this
when
on.
Jerry and Kramer were together, and it was the Kenny Rogers Roasters episode.
Yeah.
And Kramer said, you have to leave, sir."
Miss Lori, hello. Welcome.
Cory, good evening.
Glory.
You ready for me to dish it to you for TikTok, sir?
We can do that.
Let's do that.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
You tell me when you're ready, Cory, and I'll slide this music all the way down.
Good.
All right.
I love that music.
I wonder why.
Yeah, Todd, I'm really sorry too. It didn't hit me until we were almost ready to go live, and I needed to download your new sports music, but I couldn't do that without disconnecting the switchers session. So we'll have to do it next episode. We'll debut it. Fair?
And
No.
No, it's not fair. It's my bad. You can blame me 100%.
And Alika.
I blame you 1,000%. But I got to dance though, baby, for TT's TikTok. So
All right.
It's all that matters. Alika, to answer your question,
What's the question?
she wanted to know what device that you were talking about that I have.
Oh, yeah.
I will actually send the link to Bob, and Bob can get it to you
I'll
somehow.
I'll send it to Alika tonight.
All right. It's very cool.
Yeah, I should have guessed that she was going to speak up and say something about that when she heard.
It's not. Bob and I did discuss the flipper, but it's not the flipper.
Not the flipper.
It's
Right.
much cheaper,
Much
and
cooler.
much easier.
So
No,
you're not going to tell the general listening
clapper.
audience?
it's the
You're just
clapper.
going to secretly send it to one person?
it's like an IR sensor that you can attach to your iPhone that you can basically.
This is how you create demand for the show. You don't just give away all your secrets to the internet.
I know, Nick.
Give them to specific people, and you're like, oh, super fans?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
I'll text it to you privately.
Whiff of the cocoa butter. Nick, one more time. The cocoa butter. Just a whiff of it.
Yeah, it's basically a little IR sensor that you attach to your phone, and then you can program it to any TV or anything with an IR sensor on it. So, first TikTok I have for you guys was actually sent to me by Mr. TD himself.
I think I know why.
Corey?
Just looking at
Corey?
the screen, I think I
Corey?
know why.
It's already done.
Okay. If you press play and the sound doesn't fucking...
Tavares, right in the butt? No.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
Hold on a minute. Was that guy like, yes, right in the butt, RITE in the butt? It was with the right amount of letters.
And did you hear the other lady, the other contestant, like, what?
And there's also a T
She's
on the
right to
board
say that.
already.
I like
right.
I like how he goes, no.
Tavares, right in the butt? No.
No.
It had to be a brother man, too.
Yeah.
Tavares.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing, Tavares?
I would say, why doesn't Pat Sajak write a book about all the crazy shit that he's seen over all the years in Wheel of Fortune
I'm
answers?
I'm
but
sure
now that
it's-
we have social media, most of them are probably online anyway.
I'm sure it's coming once Pat's done with the old.
He is done.
I think
know.
he's hanging it up. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's done.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's
Oh.
done, yeah.
Officially
Yeah.
done. Did they hand it off
Yeah,
to somebody
this
else?
was
or-
this Friday was his last episode. 40
He's
minutes.
done, Bob.
But there's
okay?
there's no way that they're getting rid of Wheel of Fortune. They must have handed it
No,
off to
they,
somebody.
No,
they, took,
he's
they
just
sold
done-
the
he's
wheel
done
and everything.
hosting.
It's gone.
Took Vanna White out back and
Yeah,
put her down.
Kramer and Seinfeld are going to be on the set.
Todd, if I told you the specific auction where the wheel was being sold, would you put a bid on it?
Dude, you know I would, brother.
Oh, you know
You know
that
I
wheel would be sanctioned off into pins and sparkles and everything. Like, own a sparkle from the Wheel of Fortune wheel for
Yeah.
$300.
Right. Yeah.
300. Oh my God, that'd be
That's
It
actually
would
Super
be
affordable,
inside
yeah.
a little keychain, a little one sparkle from the Wheel of Fortune wheel.
Exactly.
Todd, this next one I got for you guys. This made me think of you and your dogs and the poop shenanigans that happen on the trail. But this
only
lady,
if there's human poop involved.
this lady is she's obviously at a vet or groomer of some sort, and she's trying to clip the dog's nails, and it doesn't go too well for her.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right, one of the biggest dog shits I've ever seen.
Well, that's a big dog.
Right on her shoulder, hot and steamy.
That tail's really going.
To be fair, if you're lifting one leg of the
Push the
dog
button.
up and your ass is right there,
Push the button.
To be fair.
No, here's the funny thing.
I like that he requested it and then he started talking and I got to play right over his voice. You're welcome, You're welcome, Todd.
So here's the funniest thing about that. Corey, you are freaking in my head because Mary every week says, have you figured out how you're going to cut Bo's tail? So for those listeners out
Nails,
there
you
and
mean?
viewers who don't know, I have
You mean
I
nails?
have clip his nails.
Got it.
Yeah, nails. I have a 155-pound Cane Corso who is amazing, but who also bit my lip off at one point. And His
sure you
nails
had it
need
coming.
trimmed. We've never. We I did. We haven't forayed into that. I'm like, I wonder what the outcome. I don't think it'll be a shit on the shoulder like this video, but it feels like I might lose an appendage trying to clip his nails for the first time because he's a big mofo.
If he bit your face just when you were trying to pet him, I guarantee you, if you try to cut his nails, he's going to.
Actually, I
worse.
was trying to kiss him on the face.
Yeah. No
Now,
more of that.
Todd, were you going for like the next 8 hours? Were you going through the number 2s to try and find that lip?
Oh my God.
He'll pass it.
Thankfully, I didn't need it.
Not sure how I feel about that.
I got a good
Todd.
I
question.
remember Todd told me, he said they took a nice right piece of my ass and sewed that lip right back together.
I feel like if you
Exactly.
asked that question of a guest, I would have immediately stopped the show. Like, but we're doing it too. Our own co-hosts.
What? Why?
I say it's a valid question.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He just said the dog bit his lip off, and he did. I remember seeing the photo.
But
I
then
still,
you took
I
it to the
still
next
wake up.
logical he shitted out conclusion.
Yeah, he ate it.
And I think that, would be a bridge too far. We can only do that with each other, right? If there was a guest,
What would that?
A guest host
What would
like
that be
Dave Hill.
offensive?
I kind of.
If a dog said, if someone said that like the dog ate my finger, and I was like, oh, did you look for the finger afterwards in the number 2s? Like, whoa, that's it, canceled.
I mean, I guess we are a comedy podcast.
I mean, you were making fun of Todd for loving watermelon because he's
Yeah,
black.
that was a road too far.
Not at
buddy.
all. I simply mentioned
It
that
did.
Todd was at a
It
Gallagher
hurt my
show.
feelings while I was at the comedy
You
show. It wasn't
guys-
even Gallagher, damn it.
You fucks took it to the next level.
Oh yeah,
I don't think it was us.
I think you knew what you did.
I think we go back to the tape, which I'm going to put right here.
I think it was low hanging fruit because the only black man on our show was not here to defend himself, and you decided to take pot shots. I think that's what that was.
You could just say man. That's fine.
No, I mean it was.
It was a watermelon reference, Bob. That
I mean,
that
I think
that,
it was
that
a
discourages
Gallagher
all of us
reference,
black
sir.
people.
I think we know why you said what you said, Bob.
I
people
love
like
I love
watermelon
that
too.
Lori's like Dremel tool works fine. Hey Lori, I'll let you come over and Dremel post freaking nails.
Jesus.
They love buzzing machinery.
Todd, purchase lawyer a ticket just to come out to your house to do Bo's
Exactly.
nails.
Oh,
I'll buy it.
I'm so sorry that didn't work out. I'll just go to the airport now.
I'm trying to figure
Next
out.
time.
Exactly. I'll dial 91. No, Bob. I'll dial 91, and I'll give her Dr. Sampson's card for her lip.
I'm trying to figure out where you purchased the Dremel took.
Not
I got it.
Oh,
the Dremel
don't.
took.
Oh man.
Oh, it is Dremel took. I got you.
Why would I
I got you.
possibly comment on that? Why would I say a word about that?
I got you. Nice.
Because we're all human, and it happens to the best of us. Even
I would
teachers.
say even the teachers.
Yes.
Even the teachers.
Don't go there, please.
Even teachers
Even
misspell
the
things.
Stop it.
I
it.
only smile thinking of Lori like pounding her fists listening to our show, not able to say something because it's the only time I get because she would prove me wrong in 2 seconds if she was here.
She can't go back and edit that comment either.
No, that's true.
That's on there. She
That's it. That's out there forever.
I already put it up on the screen too. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lori.
That might be the title of the episode. As
Dremel
far
took?
as I know,
Not the Dremel took.
Dremel took.
And I can already see the new TikTok. Lori tries to Dremel the nails of a freaking concorso she doesn't know.
Todd,
You know it's out there somewhere.
Todd,
already.
you can't put that kind of violence on TikTok.
It's out there somewhere already.
It's like I try and be supportive. Fuck you guys. Exits the room.
All right, what do you got for us next year, Corey?
All right, last one I got for you guys.
Hopefully not the last one. I sent you
That's
one.
terrifying.
Oh, that's not. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never mind. Second to last.
All right.
So this is just it's a joke. There's really nothing as far as video wise. It's just an audio TikTok, I guess you could say. But this is a joke about some nuns.
Those are funny.
A busload
And
of
there's a
nuns
picture of
get
3
killed
nuns.
in a car accident. They arrive at the gates of heaven and meet St. Peter. He says to them, "Sisters, welcome to heaven. In a moment I'll let you all through the pearly gates, but before I may do that, I must ask each of you a single question." St. Peter turns to the first nun in the line and asks her, "Sister, have you ever touched a penis?" The sister responds, "Well, there was this one time that I touched one with the tip of my pinky finger." St. Peter says, "All right, sister, now dip the tip of your pinky finger in the holy water and you may be admitted." And she did so. St. Peter now turns to the second nun and says, Sister, have you ever touched a penis? Well, there was this one time that I held one for a moment. All right, sister, now just wash your hands in the holy water and you may be admitted. And she does so. Now, at this moment, St. Peter hears a jostling in the line. It seems that one nun is trying to cut in front of another. St. Peter sees this and asks the nun, Sister Susan, what is this? There's no rush. Sister Susan responds, well, if I'm going to have to gargle this stuff, I'd better do it before Sister Mary sticks her arse in it.
Yep. Yep.
I was slightly distracted by the weird lady giggling in the background, whatever that was.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either. For a minute, I thought it was Todd.
Yeah, and then I was like, that's not him. Who is this? Who's here? Who's with us?
So, Bob, what you
Very
sent me
good,
was just
George.
a picture.
Yeah, it's just a picture.
Oh, you want? Okay, I didn't know if you wanted the actual.
Nope. I just sent a
Trailer.
picture. So the new, I'm super, super excited about the new MCU movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. I already have tickets to go see it.
The fuck?
And I'm sure everybody remembers the story about the Dune popcorn bucket that came out that folks were really just hammering on. Like, you couldn't get your hand in there. You couldn't get the popcorn out. It looked like a giant fleshlight. So
Is this a new fleshlight?
In that spirit, Ryan Reynolds and the team behind Deadpool and Wolverine have released the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket, and here it is. Genius, I say.
It's
And
pretty
it
good
looks
marketing.
Like a big old fleshlight.
I think that was the point.
That was the point. There is a video online somewhere of Deadpool's gloved hand caressing and stroking the popcorn bucket. But I'm like, we probably don't need to go that deep into it. No pun intended.
You sure? You sure about that?
Or Cory, you could legitimately track it down real quick and share it if you'd like. But yeah, I can't. They just released the final trailer for it yesterday. I cannot wait.
The odd part is that I actually read an article online that said there's an optional removable bottom.
I can hope there is.
Yeah, there is. You have to know where it's at, but
Yeah, I'm sure it's a quick underneath, so sort of a quick tickle.
Yep. Little how's your father?
Yep, it'll really release it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give us.
Well, the
give us
bucket
what
might
for.
not be deep enough.
Fair enough. Are you in the middle of this video?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why is my popcorn bucket smaller than everyone
Here we go.
else's?
Sound, bitch.
Not when you say
It's
it
not
like
the
that.
size of your pencil. It's how you sign your name.
But what about the butter, Ryan Reynolds?
Oh my God. That is perfect.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds is my new superhero.
Yeah, marketing genius. I cannot wait for this movie.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. It's not often I get to. Cory just does something a little special just for me.
That was great.
Thank you, Cory.
That was.
It's not often Cory puts on any TikToks I send him.
You got one today.
Because it was finally a good one.
I did. No, that's what I'm saying. He did agree.
Yeah, stop bitching. Why don't you channel?
I'm not bitching. I'm thankful. I'm
Why don't you
grateful.
channel that bitching into your 90-second sports segment, sir?
And we see him heading in that direction. The 20. He's going for 40. And it's 90 seconds forward.
The last time we'll ever hear that.
That feels very
Possibly.
anticlimactic, Bob. Because I did make music.
I know, but it's nostalgic. As Nick said, that might be the
No,
last time we get to hear
no,
that.
it's
shit.
trash.
At
It's trash.
At one point,
It's
we really
trash.
loved that.
Yeah, we did.
Just so you're aware.
I didn't. Never liked it.
Yep. Never liked it.
So the truth comes out.
Never liked it.
Well.
All right.
Fancy seeing you again, Mr. Truth.
Corey doing the on-screen
And now I got to
timer.
get all fired up to deliver this freaking 90 seconds of gold.
Oh,
Look.
don't worry. The editorializing will go on for 30 seconds, and then it'll be fucking over. You won't even say anything.
I knew you were prepared, Todd. You're a professional, goddammit. Corey's going to do the on-screen timer,
You know it.
and you're going to get
All right.
90 seconds of pure sports glory. So, Corey, tell him when to start.
After he says go or no?
He's going to give you the rules.
Are you going to count to 3?
I'm not going to count to 3. I'm going to say go, and you're going to go, and that's when your 90 seconds starts.
Right when you say go.
Right when I say go.
Are you going to count to 3? Are you going to say 1, 2, 3 go? Or are
Is
you
it
just gonna
1, 2,
do
go, or 1, 2, 3, go?
It's going to go a little something like this. Go.
Now?
It's all your time, buddy.
Corey?
Not mine.
Oh. Okay. There's been so much shit going on in the world of sports. I can't wait. I can't believe I only get 90 seconds. Now, I did use a little bit of my 90-second sports during grievances, but there's a lot of stuff going on in sports. We got the NHL hockey finals, baby. The freaking Edmonton Oilers are playing the Florida Panthers in Fort Lauderdale. How can it be that hockey's being played in a damn swamp? It's hot down there. I know it's game 1 of the finals, but it's hot. It's Florida. I don't get it. Anyway, that's not even what I want to talk about. I have something really big to talk about today. The next thing I want to talk about is my boy, Jake Wheeler, my second boy. He's my second boy. He has a precarious 7-point lead going over Alton Jones in the Bass Pro Fishing Tournament. Sorry. He's only up 374 to 367. He's so far netted $272K of cash this year. But the weird thing is my boy Alton, he's only got 94K. The guy I really like, who I think is an up-and-comer, Zach Burge, that dude hasn't won shit, and he's got 240K, and he's back 50 freaking points. As I said earlier when I introduced myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're out of time.
Dude, I didn't even get to Caitlin Clark didn't make the freaking
We are
WNBA
out
Olympic
of time.
team. What the fudge?
Todd, well done again, sir. Thank you for squeezing what seems like an impossible amount of data into 90 seconds in the sports world.
Dude.
We can go on and
Zach
on about this,
Burge.
but work must
Keep
intrude,
on
and
rocking
we
it.
need to go on to existential question of the week.
What a shitty intro. All right, let's see here.
I've never liked that song.
No, I've hated it the whole time. I didn't want to say anything. All
You're the
right.
one who asked for the sitar, damn it.
You know, it's okay, but could you add a little sitar?
I mean, if I made some music, it would probably be a
Think
lot better.
like mid-70s George Harrison. That's what I want it to sound like.
Yeah. Out of all segments, he's like,
George has just come back with a meeting from the Maharishni Vishnu.
yeah. All segments, Todd's like, what encapsulates Nick asking a very existential question? How about some Bengali music? Wouldn't that be amazing?
You're the one who asked for it. Remember, there's a rock and
That's
rolling
true.
theme in the first cut.
I asked
got-
for sitar music.
I got to say, in Nick's defense, I think that's one of my favorite intro pieces of music that we've done. So well done, Todd.
Thank you. You're talking about for the sports, right?
No, for this.
Oh, give me a break. Moses, smell the roses. All right, here we go. All right, so this is one from the Nick personal library of existential questions.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wrote it down earlier this week. So this is the question I posed to you guys this evening and audience members alike. What is the best non-sexual feeling that you've recently had?
All right.
Yeah, Corey's he's
And
already.
it
he's-
can't be something you already talked
he's
about
done-
today.
No,
Fuck!
that's
I'm sorry. Can't
Fuck!
be involving fingernails of any sort.
why not?
Because it's too easy. That's too easy. Fine, whatever. Pick your stupid answer that everybody already knows what it's going to be.
It was my Lady Jane's experience.
Yeah, okay.
I had to,
I,
I had to move
I
my
vote to give it to him.
I had to move my hat over a little bit just so I
Yeah,
wasn't.
you're going to say that. He's going to say a back scratch, and we're all going to move on with answers that we all know the answers to.
If that's the answer, that's the answer.
Right.
Okay. Put a little thought into it, boys.
Oh my god.
Best
I didn't have to. That even just thinking-
non-sexual. But the funny thing is you guys teeter with that being sexual. So those could
No.
easily. Oh, give me a break. Are you kidding me?
Can you read it one more time?
You go into a full body orgasm anytime any woman touches your back or head.
Tune in next week, folks, to see more of that.
No, we're never going to show that.
Exactly.
And so does he. It's very. At one point in time, they were both getting their back scratched in the kitchen, and I had to walk into my room and leave. It was so weird and strange. I had to leave. I almost left my own home. It was very, very odd.
I've literally asked Lori if it would be out of line for me to ask the massage therapist if, instead of a massage, if I could just get an hour-long back scratch.
Dude, it was weird.
She probably wisely told me that's probably not a good idea.
They both looked like ostriches with their heads in the ground. They were both hunched over, making weird, strange noises. It was
one of the greatest feelings ever.
A massage is great.
This is
But
non-sexual.
if I get an hour-long back scratch, holy fuck, I'd pay double.
This is non-sexual. And I feel like you guys are like a one hand movement away from it being sexual.
Listen, if you're out on the Facebook Live or the YouTube chat and you feel the same, please reflect that.
Speaking of
a
which,
little bit.
Gina wants to know if that's her brewmate that you're using, Nick.
Oh, that's a fair question.
You know, possession is 9/10 of the law. Gina.
It sounds like a big yes to me.
This has been here for quite some time collecting dust.
So, Gina, your brewmate's over here at Nick's house next time you want to pick it up.
Yep. I've actually been licking the rim
Oh.
of the brewmate, too.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about brewmates. Anyway, can
Got you first, motherfucker.
Can you read the question one more time?
Yeah, so
please?
the question is, what is the best non-sexual feeling that you've had recently?
Could that be my answer?
We know a lot of
then
things.
we're both done.
Listen. A lot of things with Cory always lead to the ass. He's very much of an ass person.
I think we got our title, boys.
He spends a lot of time in the bathroom. He ended an episode saying ass play is not that bad one day on a podcast. It's true. It's on the internet. Yeah.
And he has a naked room.
He's got a naked room.
That's true. This is a tough,
always leads back.
Tough hole to crawl.
Always leans back to the hindquarters. Yeah. I don't know why.
Naked room's not just all about asses.
There are asses there.
Well, yeah,
but
of course.
It's not all about that.
No. There's other things too.
So what's the best non-sexual feeling? So my example is going to pale in comparison to what you guys have just listed off.
Go ahead then.
I was going to say reactionarily catching something that just happens to fall without even knowing it and catching it. You know, like someone throws you kind of an odd throw of car keys or something, and you happen to catch it with one hand, or something falls off the top of the fridge and you catch it before it breaks on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
I wasn't really, you guys are more borderline like like that kind of feeling.
No, to be fair, I was legitimately,
push the button.
To be fair. Every time's the first time.
To be fair. We're on a different bank. To be fair, I was really just kind of backing Cory up on his answer so that he wouldn't have to give a second one. But I like your answer, and I will say, last night I took Cecilia and Nate, her boyfriend, and Lori out to see Furiosa, the Mad Max sequel movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you took Griffin to the pediatrician.
No, that's next week.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think that good feeling for me is doing something good for the people that I love. And you kind of know, like, they don't have to say.
That's why I pick you up every week.
Well played, sir. They don't have to say, like, oh, thank you so much, or like, you're the best, or anything like that. But you kind of know that it's just that feeling you get of like, oh, everybody's happy that like this was really a good idea. Mm-hmm. And Cecilia's going off for 2 months for a job, and so I was going to see her. And that was the whole point of going to see the movie, was just to spend some time with her. And I know some may say, like, oh, taking your kid to a 2.5-hour movie in which no one's talking to each other is probably not the best idea for spending time with your kids. However, I would say, as a retort, you take what you can get. And so
I love it.
Yeah, that's my answer.
And
it's
I love Cecilia.
doing something that for the people that you love that I got to do recently as 24 hours ago.
That's awesome, man. Todd, what you got?
Buddy.
You have an awesome daughter, by the way. My thing is eerily similar.
I don't think you were
so
saying
Nick, you
that when she
pointed out
didn't get
earlier,
that present onto your
Yeah,
trunk.
it's all water under the bridge. That was a long time ago. Cecilia loves her some Uncle Todd right now.
No grudges for me.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
I'm sorry,
no,
Todd,
the thing that gives me, and I'm getting it over and over again, man. I can't say how blessed I am. I mean, ultimately, we joke about all the stuff, but being able to help other people who aren't working right now find work has been the most incredible feeling that I've ever had, and being able to help people who are trying to get something that's in their mind actually to be something real has been cathartic for me. Ultimately, I can't wait to get back to working, but I'm at the happiest point of my life, actually helping other people find work and find the things that they're looking for has been the biggest blessing in my entire life. So that is my non-sexual
I could see you.
right
I
now.
could see you being a great mentor. Honestly, and all jokes aside,
Thank you.
Like I could see that being
Thank
something very beneficial for both sides of the party. You know, for both sides of that.
I
fence.
do love it. I love it. I do love helping other people kind of reach their dreams. I mean, ultimately, it's one of the goals that I write down every day. I want to help as many people as I can reach their goals and dreams because, again, I want to be a part of them finding their success, and so that is one of the best feelings that I've ever felt.
I got to be honest. He started off by saying, I get this a lot now. And all I could think about was that right in the butt video that you showed. And I thought, that's giving something back to people. It's helping people.
Yeah,
It is.
That it is.
Yep.
I still stick with my answer of getting my scalp scratched.
I think you should.
Nothing
I
better.
think that was the easiest question you ever had to answer.
Nothing better to perpetuate the black stereotype than a right in the butt wheel of fortune. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Jamal. What was his name? Tyrell.
Tavares.
Tavares.
Yeah.
No, Tavares.
Right in the butt? No. That was my favorite part.
Tavares' mom is like, really?
You tell him, Tavares.
I love that he didn't walk right off the stage at that moment. Like, take his mask off and
Good
just
night, everybody.
exit stage left.
Dude,
He's like sticking with him. Like, yeah, of course.
Did that air, or was that like an outtake?
Of course it aired.
Oh, my
It
God.
aired.
That's amazing.
It aired.
As a matter of fact, that same clip made your mom's house.
That same what?
clip.
Okay.
No, I did not stumble on that one, buddy.
All right, we got a shots in. What was that? It was like an evil genius laugh.
Did he get a hold of some wine
I-
during the show? I feel
fact,
like that was a wine
dude,
response.
He
I've
would
been
be making love
I've been,
to that
I've
microphone.
been backing
and
you
singing.
up for the last 15 straight minutes. I'll stop doing that if you want.
I didn't say anything about that. It was just very odd to have that reaction that you just did.
Yeah, in support of you deflecting his point about the clip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
So
we
no
doing the
more of
shot
that,
or
I
no?
guess. Fuck me.
It didn't come across that way.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Salute and Solancha. That's the good stuff.
You better pull it together because you in the
I'm
middle
trying,
of your own
man.
segment here.
I'm trying.
And it's an audio podcast.
I'm trying. Okay, so we got Todd's, we got Cory's, we got mine, and we got Bob's. So that is the question,
Word to the mother.
right?
You don't want to go with another one, perhaps?
Sure, we can.
That's a great idea.
All right,
Could we?
Glad I thought of it.
play the music.
Should
again.
we?
I'm not playing the music again. You can just read the next question.
It's not very good.
Now he's coming after me.
Play the rock and roll
Literally
version.
just doing your job is all I'd like you to do.
All right, so
Play the rock and roll version, Bob.
all right, so what the next existential question is? What do you think that you really, really wanted, and after you got it, you were like, "Oh, this was a bad idea. This was a bad idea." Something you really
Oh, this is
wanted,
easy.
and after you got it, you're like, "This is a bad idea."
I got it.
Todd's ready to go.
Todd, go ahead, buddy.
I'm ready to go, baby. Fucking Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah,
I thought That was what I asked. I begged. I'm like, give me this motherfucker for Christmas. Get me this. Stretch Armstrong? The commercials made it look like that was going to be game changing. It's a freaking rubber ass doll with fucking syrup in it. And it stretched for a minute. And then as soon as it got poked, it leaked out, dried up, died like a motherfucker. Stretch Armstrong.
What were you doing with the Stretch Armstrong there, Todd?
Trying to poke that motherfucker.
Okay. All right.
Never mind.
Corn syrup never tasted so sweet.
It's low on the scale of fuckability that toy was.
Hey, did you see the commercials for Stretch Armstrong? It did everything.
It looked very fuckable in that commercial.
That's right.
And you were completely disappointed.
Todd, how long did Stretch
Right in the
Armstrong?
butt.
How long did it last?
You put those big arms around me, Stretch.
Exactly. Like 2
couldn't
days.
stretch
Dude.
far enough.
It was the worst fucking. It was the worst fucking thing ever.
Always fails at the armpits, doesn't it?
I know.
Did you break Stretch Armstrong? I noticed you
I did.
you told us what his insides were made of.
I do feel like any kid that owned a Stretch Armstrong at any point, eventually did break it.
I had mine. Mine never broke.
No?
No, then again, I didn't have sex with it, so.
I guess therein lies the problem,
You had a
Todd.
small
Opportunity.
penis.
Wow.
I don't know what I did with it. I mean, will you get it?
The small penis or Stretch Armstrong?
Oh, okay. Listen, go toe to toe with any motherfucker, so any day. Listen, so
toe to toe, but what about tip for tip?
no, we're not going to tip. But after like the first, like, oh, this is really cool. Let's stretch the arms and the legs for a second. What did I do with it? I don't know what the hell I fucking did with it. Like, I don't know. What do you do with a Stretch Armstrong?
You just let it reset.
You threw it in the bottom of your toy box and let it fucking
really,
solidify.
I
what
swear
you
to
did.
God, honest to God, I think that's what ended up happening. I'm like, this is dumb. This is stupid. Why as kids would we want something like that?
But exactly, but we wanted it. We're like, oh my God, Stretch Armstrong.
I had to have it. You know what? I really, really, really wanted that I never ended up getting.
Another Stretch Armstrong?
No, was that there was like you can look up the commercial. It was like I remember seeing these '90s kids baited commercials where they were like they showed other kids playing with stuff, and you were like, oh my God, I have to have it. But it was like some insect laboratory.
Oh yeah,
where it made different insects out of like gummy. Like gummy worm material.
What was the name of that?
And
I had that.
It would like heat up, and you would make like spiders and stuff, and you could eat them like as gummy spiders. And it was like crazy insect laboratory, and it was like in the commercial and everything. I was like, it was like that looks amazing.
It was meant to be,
and I never got that.
That's not your answer.
No, that's not my answer. I never got it.
That was meant to be the boys' version of the Easy Bake Oven.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because I never get, there were different, like neon green color, all these different colors, like you make these bugs and stuff. But what I did get that was kind of stupid, I remember, and very.
Wait, is this your answer?
This is my answer.
All right.
This is very much not, it doesn't have to be, like everyone doesn't have to have a toy, but this is easily comes to mind.
No, I just didn't, I didn't know if you were doing another fake out.
Mine was very similar to the insect laboratory thing, and it was something that I actually did get, which was like the car factory. And the car factory was similar to that, and it had plastic sheets, and it came with wheels and axles and all this other stuff. And you would wait for the thing to heat up, and you would pull down this lever, and it would suction the plastic sheet.
Oh, yeah, like vacuum seal
it. It would vacuum it into this metal cradle that looked like a car. So you're basically heating up the whole room smelled like burning plastic, and it would molten in, and then you'd wait, and then you'd open up the protective like plastic thing on the top, and you'd take it out and like punch these holes and put wheels on it. And you'd be like, okay. And you had the cheapest version of anything that looked like a car, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. Like as if I'm gonna sit down there for hours and create an army of cars and be like, I'm gonna invade Poland tomorrow, you know? Like what am I doing with the crappiest version of a model car and smelling burning plastic?
Toys were simpler back then, buddy. And I mean, God forbid we even go back to Bob's time and how simple those toys were. Just
Oh, the old kick the can.
Shit.
Wouldn't
Super Toe.
Fucking Lincoln Logs.
I love Super
Lincoln
Toe.
Logs.
Lincoln
they wanted to
Logs
fucking
were
make a
awesome.
house.
I would play with
Yeah.
Lincoln Logs now.
I'm going to tell you, for my answer, I wasn't really ever disappointed with any of the toys that I got when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My disappointed purchase, well, I think this is your question, was what thing did you end up acquiring or paying for that you were ultimately disappointed with? Am I close?
What do you think you wanted, but suddenly realized after you got it that this was a bad idea?
Yeah. Mine's the PS5. PS5. I think I was
Really?
always a PlayStation guy, never an Xbox guy. But I think starting with the PS2, I have a 2, 3, 4 in the house. Jack has his own PS4, I think, in his room. And I've played all of them. And when the PS5 came out, it was like really tough to get. And
Yeah.
I started following this guy on what is this, like a Facebook group where he would post like different deals of different websites, whether it was Target or Walmart or Amazon or wherever, like different. This is where shipments are expected to come in. This is where trucks are expected to come in, and there were a lot of people that subscribed there, and they would post like, "Oh, I got one." It was really, really tough to get. So I tried for like a month, and I finally ended up getting one. Like I got through, and they didn't cancel my purchase. But the only one that they had was a digital one, right? So no disc drive. You had to buy the games on the digital store. And I'm like, well, I love the PlayStation. I have a ton of PlayStation games, even though in the last 5-6 years, I have not played very much.
You haven't touched it.
No, I have
Exactly.
touched it, but very, very infrequently. Like I was looking at the PS5 to be the thing that kind of got me, it's got me excited about the PlayStation again. But the only one I could get that was available, and I'm like, I kind of need to snap it up. It was a digital one. And I got it. I ended up buying one game off of it, and I played the game a little bit. But I found that I really missed the disc drive. I missed the physical. You guys know me. I buy vinyl.
I said that between that
I
and
buy
DVDs.
I buy
Bly.
I buy the
Aw.
4K movies instead of buying them on Apple TV.
Only
or-
4K, Bob?
when I get a
Hey, you
center
poor
TV,
bag of shit.
when I get a center TV that supports 8K, then I'll buy those.
Todd, what was the name of the room?
Bonus room. The bonus room.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I just kind of realized that that physical media and the lack of like loading the game and putting the game back on the shelf, like I really, really missed that.
I'm with you.
So
Do you
I'm with
think? Do you think it's something where you've just outgrown games? Like, do you think you're just older now?
no, because since then I've
Hell
actually
no.
played
No.
I've played a PS4 game more than I've played a PS5 game. So to me, it was like, there's fucking $500, not very well spent.
Didn't you say earlier today?
And I think, Nick, to answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest difference for me is I don't have a PS5 because I bought the PS4 for one game. Literally, it was worth the purchase of the PS4 for the promise of Gran Turismo, which and I think this is the
Wrong
generational difference. Gran
Wrong Gran.
Turismo, I think, is the greatest game franchise ever because you can, as a car guy, because you could buy a car and then through completing all these different things,
Mm-hmm.
purchase all the things, all the possible configurations and optimizations, like the real things, not fantasy. Like if you wanted new mufflers or you wanted a new
Corey's like,
header
"Go
or you wanted a
on."
new,
Because you said
yeah,
fantasy?
but
Not fantasy.
I think. No, I think it's a generational thing, and because as Bob said, when he said that, it resonated with me. I have owned every gaming system ever known to anyone. I owned the Sega CD, Sega Dreamcast, all those things. No, but I'm just saying, the disappointment is the more detail and the more thing. Like again, if you buy a brand new 2024 car. You and I can't work on it unless you buy a tool that lets you actually interact with the computer. And a lot of people don't do that. But it's like the beauty of, I think, for Bob and I as Gen Xers, was having a thing where you could put the CD in and then use the digital media to add on and enhance it was an awesome thing.
DLCs.
So, Bob,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
DSL.
that's the thing that's lost. And I think the younger generations, I can't imagine a 17-year-old of today knowing how to fix a car.
No.
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 We're in agreement here with you, Todd.
Well, you've sold us, Todd.
Yeah.
Science drop, baby. I'm cold lamping.
I'm hoping we left a trail of breadcrumbs back to this question, because I'm thinking of 17-year-olds fixing cars, and I'm like, 17-year-olds fixing cars, being able to fix cars, non-fantasy, Gran Turismo, gaming system, Bob's answer,
PS5.
gaming
Biggest game
system,
ever.
PS5. What do you
Gran
think that
Turismo.
you
what's
wanted, but you
crazy
realized after that you didn't?
Yeah. You
We're
hit the
back.
question right in front of you.
We're back.
That wasn't too hard. Are you the only one who hasn't answered?
Gran
No answer.
Turismo.
Oh, so has everybody answered?
I have not.
Oh.
No, I didn't answer.
Okay.
No, I
so-
did answer. No,
Yeah,
I
you
did
did.
answer. Yeah.
Okay.
Corey, go ahead.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
Thank God you didn't say.
Oh, if only you had a long time to think about it.
I know, and I've been racking my brain this entire time.
Yeah.
I know.
So, okay, can
The
I?
fleshlight? Was it
Oh,
the
no,
Go back
fleshlight?
to it because we got
Oh no, that's the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, that's
We got one
that's
more
one of the
segment
best
to get
purchases
to
ever, Bob.
through.
Or
So
Todd.
the
we could
magic
sit on it
wand.
if you want to think about it.
No. Let me see if Nick will let me kind of put a twist on this.
I'm going to say no, just on general principle.
Can I say when I got my scalp massaged earlier today?
No, it was last Monday. It's
Oh, okay.
So now with like how they're making Nerf guns and everything today,
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
I will buy them left and right just for myself, even though I don't have any kids or anything.
Do you
like
have
that.
any Nerf guns right now?
On me currently? No.
In the
you-
trunk? In the
if-
car?
You
There
have,
might-
some, you have some at your house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have plenty at the house.
What do you do
Yeah.
with them?
Play with them?
What's
With who?
plenty? Give me an estimation
Myself,
of
the
plenty.
dogs. Plenty.
You shoot your dogs with guns?
No, I don't shoot them with not
Do
guns.
you shoot
with,
Danielle with Nerf
oh
darts?
fuck yeah! As a matter of fact,
Right in the tuchus?
we just bought those gel blasters like a couple weeks ago.
I wanted
Oh,
one of those.
Yeah, we got 2 pistols.
How
But
are
hold
they?
on, I thought that we were talking about things that you regretted or weren't a good purchase.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
I'm trying to.
You're
Tell us about the
coming all the way
17-year-olds that can't fix the cars.
They're just terrible at it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Makes no sense to me. But anyway, like how great Nerf guns have become today.
Yeah.
I
Like,
wouldn't know.
The ones I've had, like that we had as kids, where they had the crappy darts that were all floppy, and from 5 feet across the room, if you tried to shoot someone, the dart just went and fell right on the ground. You're like,
Yeah, little
Well,
limp,
this-
little
this-
flaccid dart.
little flaccid dart. Yep.
Yep.
Like this is stupid. Now, I could probably hit one of Nick's
Fuck?
neighbors' houses from across the street with a Nerf gun.
Wow.
So I want to say the Nerf guns that I had as a kid, they could have done better.
The less dangerous ones.
Nerf
No,
guns.
does that mean
Nick's
more
out from the
dangerous?
street,
Does that
you
mean
could
there
probably
were
put an
Nerf
eye
guns
out
that
with it.
you bought that you regretted? You're like, oh, this was a horrible purchase. Because that's
Yeah,
really the question.
I mean, in a sense, yeah, because like I said, the way that they would portray it and all that, especially back then with those crappy darts and shit that they used.
Yeah,
like-
but this is retrospectively.
Yeah,
You did-
and
at the time you thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
well, no.
there was a couple
but-
of them that, like I said, they would really play up, and like you said with the commercials, like with the creepy crawler stuff and all that, like
yeah.
they made it seem so cool. But then once you got it and you actually shot it, you're like, that didn't even do, like it didn't even launch the dart anywhere. Like what am I supposed to
It
do?
didn't
with
put
this
an
now?
eye out like I thought it might.
I just
Exactly,
wanted to
that's
make
what I-
sure it didn't say it was what you wanted, not what you purchased.
What did you think you wanted,
Yeah.
but realized
Which
you didn't want after you
Legitimately
got it?
covers Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So I guess if
Yeah, that's a good answer.
if you're willing to accept that, that's my answer.
Sure. Why not?
That's
All right.
call.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Ruling stays.
All right. So last segment of the night, we're going to go on to Gentleman's Agreement.
Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement.
I wonder what Todd would do with this segment music if I were to give it to him to rejigger.
Agreement.
So
Gentlemen's
he's not touching it.
Actually, this is my favorite. This is my
Oh.
favorite one.
Well played. All right.
I think this is better than any other segment intro music ever. It's just too short.
Wow.
It needs about 7
10
more
more
minutes of
minutes.
fucking.
Yeah.
That's what brings in listeners. Just plenty of intro music segments.
All right. So if you're new to the podcast, Gentleman's Agreement is a segment in which we assign each other movies or TV shows that we like that we think that the other guy will like as well. We're using a random formula drawn at random completely and assigned to our co-hosts. And now we have to give a quick spoiler-free review for those. So we're going to keep it brief, gentlemen. Spoiler-free. You can grade it if you want on a scale of A to F. You can grade it on a scale of 1 to 10. Completely up to you. What do you want the people to think about it? So, Cory, I want to start with you. You had to watch. This goes back to April 20th.
God, does it really?
Yeah. Unlocked.
Holy moly.
I feel like that was from Todd or Nick.
It was from Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually just had to bring it up real quick too because Unlocked on Netflix. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's basically a detention facility in Arkansas, a prison, if you will, that is doing something kind of radical with their inmates, and for basically people that are on good behavior, you get way more leniency with as far as being like basically locked down 23 hours a day. So you have more like kind of free roam all day and night. I mean, you're still in the prison, but you don't have to be confined to your cell the entire time. I think I got to episode 4. And I think that's when they actually really started implementing it and letting guys out on a regular basis. And I still want to go back to it because it's very intriguing. I could see it going either way. This being a great experiment and creating a new atmosphere for people that are incarcerated, and it wants to give them, something to actually look forward to and maybe help their time while they're incarcerated. But I can also see it going insanely south. I mean, there's guys that are locked up that you might not always know their exact mental state or, how long they're in for or whatever. And I could see basically 1 or 2 people really messing up the entire thing for all the guys that really could get something out of it. I don't think it's a bad idea by any means to try it out, especially if, it goes well and there are some good results from it. But like I said, at the same time, I can definitely see it going south as well. So yeah, I still have to continue on, but so far, great series. It's something that covers a current day issue, and that there's a lot of people interested in helping out people that are incarcerated and locked up, and trying to reincorporate them back into society. So hopefully, this is something that could potentially help that. And on the other hand, if it does go
Cory,
yeah.
My ask is this, and this is what the interesting thing. This is the thing why I assigned it to you. I think what we fail as people to realize is that the differences between values generationally, and what I loved about the show, and I don't want to stretch this out any longer, but Gen X is very different than Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. And if you actually look at kind of the value system for each generation and where you are, and that's the cool thing about this podcast, Bob and I are the elder statesmen, Gen Xers, hardcore. You guys are millennials. I think that itself is the greatest threat to that experiment working, because Gen Xers, and guess what? Boomers don't have the same values and views. And it's the generational thing that is actually dividing us right now, because the boomers believe that we should all be doing things a certain way. And if you put that lens on it and relook at it, because you're right, the thing that's going to wreck it is going to be 1 or 2 people, not 57 people. It's going to be a couple of people that wreck it.
It's not going to be
or make it work.
The entire prison population that's going to mess it up. It's going to.
But none of them realize that the generational differences are the biggest things that are the barriers. And if none of them come to the realization that their value system based on their generational growth is the thing that's keeping them apart, it won't work. But it won't. And like I said, that's the scariest thing. I also haven't seen how it ends, but it won't work. And it'll be because of a couple of people, not because of the majority, which is the saddest thing I think in the world. And that's why I signed it. I think I love that you're liking it.
And the last thing I will say on it too, the one thing I do like is that I feel no matter what you do, there's always a better way to do it in the future, and you have to keep an open mind to changing old processes and old systems that might not always be the best.
Well, even the worst things. Here's the thing: everybody again. Not to spoiler alert, and I know that this section sucks because we get too long in the tooth. If you look at it, when they get the freedom, I'm sorry. This will be quick.
I'm teasing you, dude.
Not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
There's one thing that's actually universal. There's a point when they get their freedom where one of the older guys who knows how to brew booze, which is against the rules, does that. There's a party and all the generations are united. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, that's breaking the rules. So then how can the older people bitch about the younger people breaking other rules when they've broke one of the primary rules of the place, but everybody liked it, but none of them see it from through the same lens. And I think that's what's wrong with society today. That's why I love this series.
Yeah, and like I said, and just to finish up my point real quick, like I said, the jail system and the prison system is basically outdated. And people need to start looking at different ways of doing things. And I think this is a big step in that direction. So yeah, a great series so far. I do need to continue on with it and see how everything plays out. So good pick, Todd. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
Right. I'm going to jump in here and give my review, and then we'll get to you, Todd. I had to watch Gold, Lies, and Videotape from Cory. And this is a documentary on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's about there's a family in New Mexico who has been fighting with the U.S. government for decades to try to get access to Victoria Peak in New Mexico, saying that it's rightfully theirs because of their family, and it's a cavern that's deep inside the mountain that they think contains billions of dollars in fortune and treasure. But the government is saying this is government property because it's part of the White Sands missile range. And so I watched the first 2 episodes, and I could tell you, Cory, the note that I took here the day that I watched it, which was almost 2 months ago, and I wrote, quote, "As I was driving to Victoria Peak, I realized that this was the most exciting thing I have ever done," unquote. And then in all caps I wrote, "Boring."
Oh, sweet. So you liked it?
Dude. I think the problem that I have with documentaries like this is that the people that are in the documentary they're not making the documentary, that are subjects to the documentary are such dumb fucks that I have no sympathy for them. I don't want them to succeed. I don't care what happens to them. And these people happen to be the sort of, slow-witted country folk that just did not get my sympathy. But I will tell you that
yokels?
Because it was, I thought about saying slack-jawed yokels, but I don't want to offend any yokels out there. Listen, we're not all slack-jawed. But because this was back in April that we watched this, I had to look it up just like Todd did, again, to remind myself what I watched. And I will tell you that looking at the episode guide of episodes 1 through 5, I might actually go back to this, just reading the IMDb description of these episodes, because now I'm like, maybe there's something more there, because now I might want to see if these slack-jawed yokels figure out how to get their cavern fortune from inside of this mountain.
I mean, hey, it's up to you. Up to you.
So I will give it a solid C+, with the promise that I may revisit it down the road.
Fair enough.
All right. So moving then, lastly to Todd, you had I assigned you They Cloned Tyrone.
Yeah, and it was so long ago that we've done this segment that I
know. I'm so
forgot
sorry
that I actually did watch it. No worries. And so I'm going to give it also a solid C+.
Okay.
I don't know. because here's the thing. I don't know who I would ever assign it to.
That doesn't need to.
I'm
be
not
a
bummed. I
factor
didn't waste
into
my.
it, though. Really, does it?
Pardon?
That doesn't need to
I
play.
didn't hear your question.
That doesn't need to play into your review, then, does it? Does it need to be recommendable to someone else? The question is, did you like it?
Well, and therein lies why I give it a C+. There's
fair.
a lot of things that I liked. There's a lot of things I liked about it, and typically, if I like a thing, I want to tell other people about it. It's just me. I think the thing that I didn't. Let me tell you. Start with the things I didn't like. I didn't like. And this is going to sound very, using Nick's word, sound very woke. I didn't like
My word.
the language. Well, you say it a lot. I didn't like I didn't like the language that seemed to be so a part of the Black community in this show.
Okay.
If I sat and watched this movie with any of you, I would be uncomfortable with the language.
Really?
And so that is a detractor, because it's not the way that I speak in my home, and it's not just and again, I am a person of color who lives with people who don't speak the same way that I do, and but I wouldn't feel comfortable with the language and the way that people spoke to each other throughout the film, no matter where I was, and even if I was in a room with all Black people who were comfortable with it, that would also make me uncomfortable. So I think that's the biggest detractor. I think it's an interesting movie, and I give it a solid C+ because it wasn't I love the themology of it. So, spoiler free, it's the notion that there's a Black guy who is a drug dealer but he's a good drug
Heart of
dealer.
gold.
If there is one. Yeah, he's got his intentions are as pure as they can be for a drug dealer. And he gets murdered and then comes back, and the people who aren't murdered are like, wait a minute, you got murdered yesterday, and it's this big government conspiracy that they've cloned him, and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and they're like, wait a minute, you're dead. And I think there's a lot to like about the movie. So again, that's why it's weird. It's a C+. It wasn't as a piece of art and created by someone. I think it's absolutely very well done. The acting is done well. A lot of good stuff. There's even a good message. I think the thing that killed me is just, if anybody believes that Black people talk to each other and treat each other like that, that bummed me out, because ultimately it creates a bigger divide, and ultimately we're all more similar than we are. And for anybody who looks at that and doesn't know that that's not how all Black people talk to each other or treat each other, yeah, that piece bummed me out. So yeah, I give it a solid C+.
That's fair, and I won't at all discount your reaction to it. I guess all I'll say is, from my perspective, when I watch a film, I don't try. I suspend a little bit of disbelief, and I watch like a movie like Goodfellas, or I watch a documentary like Gold Lies on Videotape, and I know that not all white people talk like that. And just like in the same way, when I watch They Clone Tyrone, I go, okay, this is a period piece. It's a very specific, sci-fi, 70s kind of a vibe that they've got going on. And these are, inner city characters who are, not necessarily white collar people, and they're talking a certain way. And generally when actors are in a movie like that, the director tends to let them come up with, the dialect for their characters. So I tend to give them a lot of leeway, but I totally understand your response.
I get it. And that's the scary bit. I've seen it, but it's not the things that I've seen that I would like for other people to know that exist, or
Sure.
not to hide it from them, but I'd like people to change that thing.
Yeah.
And so I get drawn in, and that's why I got to give it a C+. I was drawn in. I watched the whole thing. This isn't a knock on Nick. I had to turn off the wrong banker movie because a dude with a little tiny crossbow shooting up hookers in a hotel room seems just absolutely stupid. But this movie is sci-fi and as foolish as it was. You could get drawn in, and if you didn't, and again, I never ever like anybody to think that I'm atypical of the black community, even if they know somebody who's atypical of me, and that's why it's a little bit hard to go like, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, because man, the language in it and just the way that people acted towards each other was counter to my belief system.
Got it, brother. No problem. I'm happy that you watched all the way through. I'll take the C+. So let's do new assignments for next time.
Todd, just remember, watermelon, buddy. Watermelon.
I would have actually taken it more personally if he. So Bob did. So as funny as that is, Bob, the fact that Bob said Gallagher, because actually, so for everybody out there listening, I was out last week and I was laughing my ass off because you guys gave him the appropriate amount of ribbing for dropping watermelon as the first thing with a bra man being out for a week. So bravo to you, Cory and Nick, for freaking seizing on that.
Whoa,
we
hold on a
got
second.
your back, Todd.
The fact that you were out on a Gallagher show was mentioned before I said the word watermelon.
Bob yanked it out of the ocean because he did say Gallagher right away. So Bob, you are also excused because I did catch that as well. But I thought the banter, because it's the generational thing. These guys don't know Gallagher. He's not a Gen. He's a Gen X.
You know, I brought it up. Right?
How many times have you seen this? I know you've heard of it. You
did.
I
brought
were
it
correct.
up.
I didn't see Gallagher.
And I actually went to see Gallagher.
I was gonna say I've watched full sets.
Did you love it? Did you love it?
I went and put on the ponchos and everything. I've got pictures to prove it.
So you guys are watermelon fucking fuckers. So maybe Bob.
I'm more of a if I'm more of a if you drink don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. That's kind of my speed.
And
I thought you guys' handling of it was brilliant last week. I think you guys should get rid of the freaking the heavyweight on the guy who's weighing.
Dude, I mean,
shut your fucking mouth. This is a 4-person show.
I'm telling you, man. When something like that happens, that's not very PC. You got to roll with it. When you're on a TV show, in a matter of speaking, or a radio show, you can't. I mean, stuff's going to happen like that. People are going to have racial bias and things like that, and you have to roll past it. I mean, it's
right, and you have to ride it, dude. I thought you guys' show and you know how I feel about all you guys. You guys are, you know the real talent is here, but you guys had an incredible show last week. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say it. You guys were awesome and funny last week, and I hope that a ton of people listen, because that was one of the best shows I've heard, and I think it's because of the practice that we do on our production.
Please pass that on to all the other people that you're talking about so they can watch us.
Yeah, I don't know how much I would yell from the rooftops that the show that you weren't present for was one of the best shows that you've seen.
I thought it was awesome. I told Mary, actually, here's the funnier bit. I said it, and Mary's like, I thought it was awesome. And I'm like, holy shit, I should leave the show. These guys are fucking funny.
Todd, you're at a disadvantage. We have years done this longer than you have. And you are a recent but very, very, very welcome addition to the Schnozzcast. You're part of the team. But I can only say that if we were funny, it was because we were including you in the conversation. And that's the only way.
Yeah, the ghost of Todd Dillon.
It was an awesome show.
Mm-hmm.
It was an awesome show, and I love you guys to death. And again, I there's the point too, actually, Nick, when you said beer hole. If I had anything in my mouth, I would have fucking shot it out of my nose, because that was the funniest shit. You guys nailed it. So for anybody listening tonight, listen to last week's episode, and I'm not going anywhere, fuckers, because affirmative action. But
that makes sense. That makes sense. To go full circle, you're also at the disadvantage because you are out in Seattle, and there's a bit of a delay. So when you decide to move back to Michigan just to do the podcast, it would be much appreciated.
We would love that. Love that.
All right.
Uproot your entire life for the podcast.
You know how much really expensive whiskey that you could leave at my house that I'll never touch, that would be amazing. I would love that.
I'll drink it all, Todd. You can do that anytime.
Yeah, no, it's still sitting up there.
All right, let's do new assignments for next time, fellas. I have drawn Cory. Cory has drawn Todd. And Todd, you got me. So, Cory, in the spirit of today is June 8th, so we are just a couple of days from the 80th anniversary of D-Day. I'm assigning you They Shall Not Grow Old. I'm assuming that you have not seen it.
It doesn't sound like I have.
Okay. That's what you got.
I thought you were leading up to Juneteenth.
That's not what I said. Todd.
He should.
Yes,
got-
that's what he
After
should have said.
You got me,
Really.
Todd. What do you got for me?
So I'm going to take it. I'm going out on a limb. Cory loved it. Kunk on Earth.
You watch your mouth, Todd.
I got it. All right. And then, Cory, what do you got for Todd?
Todd, you have Dancing with the Devil, Escaping a TikTok Cult.
Ooh,
That's the full title?
China.
It's
China.
beyond that. Yes, that is the full
Put a G
title.
in it. China.
China.
If anybody right now is listening and is interested in watching along with Todd, where can they find this?
We don't like
Netflix.
China.
Netflix?
Just came out.
Okay. Excellent. Boys, I got it all. We're ready, and hopefully by the time we get around to do this, then Nick will be giving his review as well.
Well, if I could, yeah,
Hopefully.
we all don't have Apple TV Plus money,
You
so
work it
I
out
don't know
with
what to tell
Todd
you.
and figure out what you're going to watch if that's not it.
Well, it
We'll
took him
figure
a
it
week
out.
to respond to me.
We'll
so-
figure it out.
Did you call him today?
I'll do a Zoom call. Well,
It's not
hey,
my
Nick, we'll do a
responsibility.
Zoom and watch
It
together.
is. All right.
We'll do a Zoom call
Todd
and watch
work it out.
together.
No, that's not what you're
I can only do so much.
Todd, okay, listen, I got the idea. Here's what we do. You take one of your center TVs.
We do a Zoom and work and watch together.
Ship it over to Nick with Apple TV connected to it.
No, hold on a second. I think I do have this sorted. Nick and I both are MetaQuest people.
We are, yeah.
Can you guys watch
So
a
I
movie
could
together on there?
probably.
I just thought
I
he
think
wanted
so.
to just play in the virtual universe.
You guys can do that as well.
I got to see what I can get in that in the beer hole.
Whatever you guys do with your
Rip off the glasses. God damn it, Todd, this is why I don't play with you.
Right in the butt.
whatever you
Right
do
in the
with
virtual
each other-
butt.
Virtual penis away from my face.
whatever you do with each other's holes in the metaverse. It's up to you guys.
I've reported him to Meta 4 times.
He won't stop.
Exactly.
All right, everybody,
figure it
thank you
out.
for tuning in. That is the episode for the week. We'll see you next week. On behalf of Cory, Nick, and Todd, this is Bob said we'll see you next time. Peace out.